Back here with Vincent Goodwill, we're talking Golden State Warriors. They're headed to their 5th straight NBA Finals. That after completing the sweep of the Blazers last night. They did it without the services of Kevin Durant, and that has sparked some interesting dialogue. Friend of the show, Chris Broussard, wondered if this was KD's worst nightmare coming true, tweeting, if the Warriors win a title without KD, does that diminish his 2 rings? Well, KD responded, saying, I see a little exaggeration there, buddy. My worst nightmare? You sure that that is the worst that it can get? And then when a fan called him sensitive, Durant said, you're right. Let me chill before my sensitivity flares up. You're a real one, bro. Vincent, what do you make of all of this? Why are you laughing?
You didn't have to read that last one. That's why he's laughing.
I didn't understand where it should go.
I would say Kevin Durant is just as human as anybody expects him to be in this situation. I don't think he wants to be hurt, but I do think that he wanted to feel needed in this situation. And the fact that they beat Houston, even though it was a tough Game 5 and Game 6, and you saw Stephen Curry step up and you saw Draymond Green step up, like he's feeling a conflict of emotions. He's like, this is the team that I wanted to join. The way that they play, this is the team that when I was in Oklahoma City and I was playing with Russell Westbrook, that's the team that I envisioned playing this beautiful game with, of, you know, everything working in concert. And yet you see them winning without you. I just think from a human standpoint, I don't think it diminishes his 2 championships. I think anybody that says that is just flat out wrong. And I like Chris. But I don't think Golden State wins without him these past 2 years. And I don't think that Golden State can play the way that they played last night with no margin for error against a Portland team that wasn't clicking on all cylinders if KD isn't there for 82 games. You can't play that style that way for 82 games without Kevin Durant. So if you can assume that Kevin Durant just take him out and they're going to be 65 wins again, I think you're sadly mistaken.
But why? You said something that a lot of people have said that is just taken as fact. Like, okay, so maybe they don't need Kevin Durant in any specific game, but they've got to have him over the course of an 82-game season. If only we had 2 full 82-game seasons to compare it to. Oh, wait, we do. And they averaged 70 wins, they won a championship, and then they were 1 minute away from winning another championship. I understand they didn't beat Cleveland, but they were up 3-1, and it took what I believe to be the greatest 3-game stretch in NBA history for a team to beat them by a hair. To barely, Kyrie makes, Steph misses, that's what it comes down to. The idea that this Warriors team can't exist the way we've seen it exist since he went down without him next year, you don't think they're going to be a 60-win team? If they just lose KD, bring everyone else back. I know they have a decision on Looney, and Livingston might retire, but let's just assume Boogie's gone, because he hasn't been a part of this either. KD's gone. You won't have them as the favorites in the West? You won't have them as a 60-win team? Will you?
Oh, I didn't know if you were preaching to the choir.
No, I'm asking.
I felt like this was an episode of The Cosby Show where Claire was just talking and expecting the answer. No. This is what I'm saying. You have the evidence correct. Your conclusion is often wrong. Here's where it is. Nothing stays the same. The league catches up to teams. There were not teams playing like Golden State in 2015 and 2016. Once 2016 happened, everything changed around the league because people didn't believe what they saw in 2015 was real.
Duplicable, sure.
So when 2016 happened because people thought 2015 was a fluke. And then they said, oh, we can play this way now. We can switch on defense. We can shoot a lot of threes. We can gang our personnel to duplicate or sort of match that. So to say they're just going to go back to that when KD leaves, I think that's a fallacy. The league catches up. Everything catches up. It's all cyclical.
I think Golden State should be one of the favorites next season because they have shown the ability. They still got 3 All-Stars now. It's not like they're just some regular organization. They still got 3 All-Stars. Tell me another team that's going to have 3 All-Stars. So they should. Now, will they win 60 games based on injury, based on how much interest will these guys have in the regular season? If they're able to three-peat and the guys are there would have 4 championships, I don't know if they can win.
And miles on their bodies.
I just don't know if they have 60 games in them that way. But this is what I do know for certain. Kevin Durant thinks he's the best basketball player in the world. And I think that anyone in any profession, if you were not able to go to work and your company performed as good and potentially better when you weren't there?
Man.
Now, I'm just going to tell you there's a human condition. It's called love and acceptance. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you're raised. I don't care what your background is. We all have it. Each and every one of us here at this desk, we have that condition. And Kevin Durant has that same condition. He's human. And there's no way that he could feel good about Golden State continuing to play at the rate for which they are playing at. Now, I know he's cheering for the guys, but for him not to be part of the storyline and people to question it, now, all championships, because I disagree with you, are not equal. They had Kevin Durant, had Golden State down 3-1. They came back and beat him. He joined them. That's part of that storyline. So Steph's couple championships with KD, they're not the same looked at in NBA hierarchy, and they won't be looked at the same way because of they got 4 All-Stars, Boogie Cousins 5 this season. Teams will look at that. I mean, I think people that cover the game will look at that, and they will. You can't equally have that equal to the other players.
And I do notice you didn't answer my question. Who will be the favorite in the West in your eyes next year?
Okay, here's the thing. Who will be the favorite?
Simple question.
Who will be the favorite and who will win? Houston might be the favorite this time.
Who will be your favorite? If you right now, if Kevin Durant it signs with the Knicks,
the offseason hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so this is a long way to say you don't want to say Golden State because it checkmate.
No, it just means I have common sense. I can't make that judgment.
We've seen it, Vincent. We are talking in hypotheticals when we don't need them. We can show their record. They're 34-4 without him. With Steph plays. They have 4 levels that we've seen since KD got there. There's the level when neither plays. They are really, really awful. There's the level when Durant plays and Steph doesn't. That's a 50-win pace. That's really good. When they both play, they're really good, 64-win pace. And when Steph plays and Durant doesn't, imagine that. That is a 73-win pace. If only there was a team in NBA history that had done for an entire season a 73-win pace. Oh, wait, it's these Warriors. And so, as far as Durant and his emotional state, I think he was rooting for the Warriors. But he wanted it to be hard. I think he wanted the Warriors to make the NBA Finals so he can come back and help them. I don't think he was rooting for a sweep.
No.
I think Kevin Durant wanted the Blazers to take a couple games, his team come out healthy, and everyone be like, man, would have been a whole lot easier with KD.
I have never seen in all my years of watching the NBA that 39 minutes a guy was playing became useless, and 34 points a game was an afterthought. Because when he strained his calf, that's what happened. 39 minutes was leaving the court, and 34 points.
I got something for you, Chris. Because where are you from?
I'm from Ohio.
Okay. Where did you live?
In Middletown, Ohio.
No. Okay, never mind.
In the projects.
Never mind. You lived in Chicago. You lived in Chicago too, right?
No, I lived in Minnesota, never in Chicago.
Okay, whatever.
Sorry.
I thought you lived in Chicago. Here's my point. Michael Jordan, 1993, best player in basketball, undisputed, right?
Yes.
57 wins, they win a championship. The next year, Michael Jordan retires.
And
they win 55 games. You cannot tell me that Bulls team without Michael Jordan was better than the Bulls team with Michael Jordan because there was a 2-game difference.
They lost in the second round and they won.
You didn't know what, Nick? You didn't know that. When you're talking about regular season records, did he not just say who would be the favorite going into regular season, 60-win games, all that type of stuff? That has nothing to do with the playoffs. Right. I'm giving you, by your criteria, you said regular season, 57, 55. Nobody in their right mind will say that they were a better or comparable team.
I didn't have to live in Chicago to know that Steph Curry is a better player than Scottie Pippen.
We not even going there on Scottie Pippen, bro.
Okay.
No.
But I do appreciate you making one of the best cases for LeBron being the greatest player ever right there.
Absolutely not.
Only lost 2 games without Jordan. Only went down 2 games. Cavs went to the 1 pick of the draft. Heat missed the playoffs. Cavs went to the worst record again.
Will the Lakers' dysfunction hold them back? Vincent Goodwill, we're talking Golden State Warriors. They're headed to their 5th straight NBA Finals. That after completing the sweep of the Blazers last night. They did it without the services of Kevin Durant, and that has sparked some interesting dialogue. Friend of the show, Chris Broussard, wondered if this was KD's worst nightmare coming true, tweeting, if the Warriors win a title without KD, does that diminish his 2 rings? Well, KD responded, saying, I see a little exaggeration there, buddy. My worst nightmare? You sure that is the worst that it can get? And then when a fan called him sensitive, Durant said, you're right. Let me chill before my sensitivity flares up. You're real one, bro. Vincent, what do you make of all of this? Why are you laughing?
You didn't have to read that last. That's why he's laughing.
I didn't understand where it should go.
I would say Kevin Durant is just as human as anybody expects him to be in this situation. I don't think he wants to be hurt, but I do think that he wanted to feel needed in this situation. And the fact that they beat Houston, even though it was a tough Game 5 and